This is
Make It Plain.
Make It Plain.
MIP
With Masamela Matfumo.
Mark Thompson.
Make It Plain.
Get woke.
This podcast is sponsored by IQ Bar. I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ Bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
Happy Kwanzaa. Once again, everyone, on this 6th day of Kwanzaa, Kuumba creativity. Our very special guest, as he has been all week, and we are so appreciative, and I hope you are as well. We couldn't have a more qualified person to speak of Kwanzaa than this one. He is the professor and chair at the Department of Africana Studies at Cal State University, Long Beach, the chair of the organization US and the National Association of Kawaida Organizations. He's executive director of the African American Cultural Center and the Kawaida Institute of Pan-African Studies, co-chair of the Black Community Clergy and Labor Alliance. He is the author of numerous scholarly articles and books, including Kawaida and Questions of Life and Struggle, Maat, the Moral Ideal in Ancient Egypt, Selections from the Husia, Sacred Wisdom of Ancient Egypt, Introduction to Black Studies, the 4th edition, Odu Ifa, the Ethical Teachings. We've talked a lot about the Odu Ifa this week and the Husia. We need to learn more about those as we go forward as a people. He's also the subject of the book by Dr. Molefi Asante himself entitled Maulana Karenga, an Intellectual Portrait. And he's currently working on a major book entitled The Liberation Ethics of Haji Malcolm X, Critical Consciousness, Moral Grounding, and Transformative Struggle. But he's here, and this is what makes him most qualified. He's the creator of the Pan-African cultural holiday we call Kwanzaa, folks, and the Nguzo Saba, the 7 principles, and the author of the authoritative text entitled Kwanzaa, a celebration of family, community, and culture. We welcome once again to Make It Plain on this 6th day of Kwanzaa, Dr. Maulana Karenga. Dr. Karenga, habari gani?
Kuumba, asante sana. I really appreciate again being here. This year's annual Kwanzaa theme is celebrating Kwanzaa in difficult and demanding time, lifting up the light that lasts. And so we want to lift up the light of Kuumba today. Let us light the candle and lift up the lasting light of Kuumba, creativity, which calls on us, quote, to do always as much as we can in the way we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited. This speaks of our local and national community, but also our world community, as Africans, a world community, as humans, a world community, and as natural beings, Walimwengu in Swahili, world beings. That is also our community, the natural world. And we are to honor the ancient African ethical imperative of Suruj Ta, which means to constantly repair, renew, and remake the world, making it more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited. And through that, we create a new history and horizon of possibilities for us and all of humankind. In this principle and practice, we reaffirm this ancient African ethical commitment of Suruj Ta, which means to raise up what is in ruins, to repair what is damaged, to rejoin what is separated, to replenish what is depleted, to set right what is wrong, to strengthen what is weakened, and to make flourish that which is fragile and undeveloped. It is a moral commitment for our ancestors to the principle and practice of Maat. Maat means right and good in the world. It was a moral idea of ancient Egypt, the practice of truth. When we say the cardinal virtues that I introduced in the 80s, the cardinal virtues of Maat, which is truth, justice, propriety, harmony, balance, reciprocity, and righteous order. Our ancestors taught that often Maat, goodness and rightness, is replaced by Isfet, the opposite, and that this damages the world and all in it. And therefore, we are morally obligated to constantly repair and transform the world, making it more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited. Therefore, Suruj Ta calls on us again to raise up what is in ruin, to repair what is damaged, to rejoin what is severed, to replenish what is depleted, to strengthen what is weakened, and to set right what is wrong, and finally, to make flourish that which is fragile and undeveloped. Certainly the world is ruined by war, damaged by unfreedom, exploitation, and oppression, and now recently by genocide in our time in Palestine. It's depleted by the reckless and relentless consumption and exploitation of resources. The world is divided by race and class and gender and sexuality, injustice and domination, and weakened by absence and attenuating the practice of life-giving and life-affirming values. And the Nguzo Saba become those life-affirming values, which starts with the first principle without which everything else is impossible. That is, a sense of unity, a sense of solidarity with fellow human beings and with the world. Moreover, the world is wronged by the social savagery and resultant suffering around us and through the world, and it is made ever more fragile by a refusal to be rightfully attentive to the future and the consequences of destructive and negative attitudes and actions we accept as normal, or in any case, as unrelated to us. The principle of Kuumba speaks in a larger sense, not only to our always striving to make our own community constantly better and more beautiful and beneficial, but again, I repeat, the whole world. This Kwanzaa, as always, we must constantly put forth the possibility of healing, repairing, renewing, and remaking the world, making it more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited. This we do in the spirit of the ancient concept that we have a filial obligation to care for the world, to take care of the world, and we're supposed to take care of everything in it. Inherent in this call is a call, however, to heal ourselves, to repair ourselves, right? We must repair ourselves, we say, renew, repair, and remake ourselves in the process and practice of repairing, renewing, and remaking the world. And this is the real meaning for me and our group of reparations. It's not only about receiving financial reward and monies owed us from the Holocaust of enslavement, for the savagery of segregation, and from ongoing systemic racism, right? That requires radical repairing, though, also of ourselves, right? And that has to be us. We have to repair ourselves. And so I say it's important to remember this fundamental concept of Suruj Ta, to heal, to heal, repair, renew, and remake ourselves in the process and practice of renewing, repairing, renewing, and remaking the world that injures us in its current form, a form of domination, deprivation, and degradation by the powerful. This teaching is rooted in the ethical teachings of our ancestors, that we constantly injure ourselves, each other, and the world as a whole, not only by what we do wrong, but also by what we fail to do right. Think about it. Not only we didn't do it, but we watched it happen and didn't do anything about it, right? So that's an injury. That's an injury to us and the world. We have an obligation to intervene when we see evil, injustice, and oppression that exists. Moreover, the damage we do to each other in the world, like the good we do to and for ourselves. It's important. We must, in fact, realize we're not just doing good by living. We're doing good by making the conditions and capacity for a good life for everyone and for the well-being of the world. And we know that if we do bad, there are consequences. And if we do good, there are consequences. The Odu said, quote, anyone who does good does it for themselves, and anyone who does evil does it to themselves. Anyone who does good does it for themselves, and anyone who does evil does it to themselves. So watch the consequences of what we do. We do damage to the world and to ourselves and to each other in bad ways. We do damage when we fail to follow the best of our ethical and spiritual teachings and instead use religion to disrespect and impose on others, to justify unjust war, to seize and occupy other people's land, and to claim a special religious and racial status above and beyond all other people in the world. We do damage to the world when we turn a blind eye to injustice, a deaf ear to truth, and an uncaring heart away from the suffering and pain around us and throughout the world. We do damage to the world when we make material gain the measure of all things, when we pollute, plunder, and deplete, and destroy the environment, and undermine the basis of life on earth, and when we act in ways that dim and diminish the future of coming generations. Our ancestors, the ancient Egyptians, taught we must think of eternity and plan for the future for those who will come after us. We must leave a legacy, indeed. The ancient teachers said, we must leave a legacy good. The Husia says, be able to say, I did good for my community. I spoke truth. I did justice. I gave food to the hungry, water to the thirsty, and clothes to the naked. For I knew the value of doing good. It would be a storehouse for the generations that came after us. And Queen Hatshepsut, Pharaoh Hatshepsut said, I added to what was formerly done, for I wanted to be said by those who come after. How beautiful is that which happened because of her. Let us all be able to say, I've done good here. And the other people say about what you've done. How beautiful is this, what happened because of them. In conclusion, then, grounded in these 7 principles and practices, as I've said before, we can build a new future. Really, we can. We can weather the worst of winters, disperse and drive away darkness, and lift up the light that lasts of shared and inclusive good in the world. Indeed, if we read and believe the sacred narratives, the written and oral and living practice texts of our ancestors, Nana Howard Thurman, Nana Gwen Brooks, and Nana Nanny Barrows, as well as our people as a whole, this sacred history of our people as a whole, we are assured that there is no winter we cannot weather, no storm we cannot ride out or remain intact, no whirlwind we cannot conduct our blooming in, and no impossible situation that will enfeeble or falsify our claim that we as a people specialize in the whole impossible. So continue to struggle, keep the faith, and hold the line. Head is our Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa.
Habari Gani, Kuumba. And folks, what we light the last of the red candles today for creativity. Dr. Karenga brought up reparations, and I'm so touched by that. That is so meaningful, as just this year we said goodbye to the last author of H.R. 40, who believed as we do that reparations is not just about a check. Nana Sheila Jackson Lee. There are pseudo scholars who say it's only about a check and only about a check for a certain period of time. Clearly, even those who believe that are in need of repair. It goes far beyond that. So that is the beauty of our creativity. We can believe in ourselves and rely upon our creativity. You have it. We all have it. every moment an idea comes to you about how to make our condition better, you are practicing Kuumba. Every time an idea comes to you how to improve the condition of where you live and what surrounds us, you are practicing Kuumba. So this is so important to remember. We're thankful today. Tomorrow, the last day of Kwanzaa, the 7th day, Imani Faith. Don't miss it. With the creator of Kwanzaa, our very special guest, Dr. Maulana Karenga. See you tomorrow, folks. Everybody, happy Kwanzaa.
Thanks for getting woke and listening to Make It Plain. As always, perform an act of kindness on behalf of an elder or young person. Write a letter to a sister or brother who just so happens to find her or himself incarcerated. Offer libations to the ancestors upon whose sturdy shoulders we all now stand. And above all, give thanks to the God of your understanding by whatever name you call her and him. All God asks of us is that we give each other love. Thanks for giving MIP love. And please remember to subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. If all hearts and minds are clear, it has been made plain.